RSN Singh is with us on the phone line. Sir, this is unfortunate news coming in. This is very initial details that we know that the former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, has been shot at, sir.
Can't really say. I mean, what are the forces, that are responsible for this kind of an act? But yes, you would remember there was an Om Shirankyo group in Japan. So Japan has had this, having some kind of extremist, group, which were actually very deadly. Even they carried out a chemical attack in a subway. But I don't know what can it be attributed to, because he was very, very, assertive as far as, Japanese foreign policy is concerned. A very strong votary for, for the Quads and, the Indo-Pacific strategy. Is it attributable to the Chinese? Really can't say at the moment, but anything is possible. What can be ruled out straight away is that it can't be a jihadi attack, because Japan doesn't allow jihadis to put their foot on Japanese soil. So any number of possibilities are there. One is some homegrown terrorist group. As I told you, gave you a history of Om Shirankyo, or it could be, the Chinese inspired, or I really can't say at this moment. But Japan does have a history of this kind of, extremism.
Mr. RSN Singh, because details at the moment that we've picked up are suggesting that he was shot at, thereafter he collapsed, and some people in the vicinity also saw him bleeding. So he's been taken to the hospital, perhaps undergoing treatment. We're all talking in the realm of speculation, really hoping that he recovers at the earliest. What do you make of this kind of a global news break? Because again, we can just wait for the details to come in and for a confirmation on that. But this is the former Prime Minister of the country we're talking about, the longest serving Prime Minister in Japan.
Longest serving Prime Minister and a nationalist to the core. Very, very assertive foreign policy, as I said. He was very much, in favor of remilitarization of Japan, which is some kind of restricted. It is restricted by the U.S.-Japan Defense Accord treaty, signed in the wake of World War II. So there is a big rivalry between the forces who want to retain this conservative defense posture, and the forces which want to break those shackles. Or those stipulations of U.S.-Japan treaty. But, for a former Prime Minister to have been targeted like this, had he been serving, I could have understood, we could have understood some kind of, political motives, etc.
Yes.
But how do you explain this kind of...
a quick input coming in, and the reason is likely to get clearer, because reports now suggesting the man who attacked Shinzo Abe has been seized, has been caught. So the suspect has been arrested, is what reports suggest. We're all going by reports at the moment, but this is going to make the matter clearer on as to what is it that happened really.
See, I can tell you one thing about the Japanese society. The Japanese society over the years had become very, very mechanical. As very, very mechanical society, in the sense that, too much of discipline, too much of, I mean, everything is tailored. Everything is manicured. Everything is tailored. So that kind of a society also, sprouts some kind of, extremist elements. If you go to Japan, you will find that everything is so geometrical. And everything, is so, what should I say? I mean, they go strictly by the, to the last letter of the, rule book. So that also, I think, over a period of time, it becomes counterproductive. But that is how, Japanese society has been tailored after, after World War II. There are any number of reasons. It's a very, it's a very queer and a very strange society. Very, very different from ours. Very different.
Right, sir. But looking at the long-standing friendship that India has with Japan, and also when Shinzo Abe was the Prime Minister, very close relation that he has also had with the Indian Prime Minister, good friendship is something that needs to be highlighted between India and Japan. Thank you very much, Mr. RSN Singh, for joining us here on the broadcast.